Welcome to Shelaborate. I'm Kath.
And I'm Kyra. This is our podcast for the girls, from the girls.
We're telling our stories, hyping up women who inspire us, and shelaborating every step of the way.
It's time to give you the girl talk you've been waiting for. Let's get into it.
Welcome back, Shelaborators.
Hello.
We made it to episode 9.
Today we're going to be doing a little bit of red flag, green flag. Kathleen and I each wrote a list of things that we think are green flags and things that we think are red flags.
Or things we're not really sure about and we want the other one's opinion. I wrote down some stuff that I did want some opinions about that I wasn't quite sure about.
Oh yeah, me too.
So, and then we're going to react to which one we think the other person's comment is, if it's a green flag or if it's a red flag.
I'm so excited.
This is all of our own ideas for anyone that thinks that women aren't funny.
And also, if you're listening and not watching, we have little red and green flags, so we'll try to say which one we think it is as well. Okay, do you want to kick it off? What's the first one?
I'm going to start with this one.
Okay.
This I'm not quite sure about. Is this a red flag or a green flag? Listens to podcasts on speeds of 1.5 or greater.
To me, immediate red flag.
Red flag!
Red flag. They weren't meant to be listened like that. This is something that you're doing in your leisurely time and you're rushing through it. I know you and Poppy both listen to them so fast.
So fast. I also think that ours sound better when it's fast.
Well, yeah, because we're slow talkers.
We are. Yeah, we are slow talkers. But also, I think the argument can be made that they just have good time management. That they just want to get a lot more knowledge in a shorter amount of time.
I understand that, but no, I like to listen to it leisurely in my garden.
Okay, but it's not about you. It's if the other person.
I think it's a red flag.
You think it's a red flag?
Like I'm driving in a car with you and you have your audiobook or a podcast that we're listening to together at 2.5 speed. No, turn it on normal. I want to enjoy it.
I do think that this is probably one of my red flags.
I think it's a red flag immediate.
So I think
red flag.
I need to find someone that also has this red flag. That does this.
You think that 2 red flags equal a green flag?
Yes.
I don't know about that.
I think that you can look past a red. This is not. I don't think this at all. That you can look past a red flag if you also have that red flag.
Okay, so I'll counter your red flag with something that's on my list.
Okay.
Might be me, might not. Who's to say? Labeling everything with a label maker. Having a label maker for personal use that they regularly use. Red flag or green flag?
I personally think that's pretty neutral, and that probably errs on the side of green flag. What evidence would you have that would be a red flag thing?
I mean, you're labeling all kinds of stuff.
Also, I also think it's funny.
I like labeling stuff, and I use a label maker all the time. I thought that might be one of my red flags.
Because you're like hyper organized?
Yeah, labeling stuff.
I don't think so. I think that's probably pretty neutral. I think that might be a beige flag.
Beige flag. I should have made us beige flags
beige
too.
Flags. I don't think that is a red flag. You definitely do that.
I label lots of stuff, yeah.
I'm bored at work. I like to take the label maker and just label stupid.
See, no, I'm labeling things seriously.
That is a green flag.
Green flag, serious labeling?
No, funny labeling.
Funny labeling is definitely a green flag.
Green flag.
Serious labeling of items continuously? Yeah, could be.
Why are you doing that?
Organization.
But like, you know what it is.
Bins and stuff.
Okay, that's fair. Flour. Like, what kind of flour is this?
All purpose versus bread flour.
True.
Percent of protein in it. I don't know. Yeah, I like labeling
That's
stuff.
good. I mean, I don't think that's a red flag. She feels good about herself now.
I do feel good. Smiling.
Okay, is this a red flag or a green flag? There is a right answer to this one. Being friends with your ex / being best friends with someone that you have dated or been intimate with.
Immediate red flag.
Immediate red flag.
Okay, I don't know how this could even remotely be a green flag. If the person that you are currently dating is not your best friend, they're probably not the one for you. If your best friend is your ex, the person that you are currently with is not the one for you.
But even just being like super close with, I think in general, you can be friends with your ex. In general, you can have like friendship with your ex. I don't think that's necessarily a red flag, but if you are like really close with them, you're sharing things with them on the daily or hanging out with them on the daily, that's a no for me, dog.
That's a huge red flag for me.
Huge red flag.
To me, I would define close as you might still see them in common spaces that you both shared prior to you guys dating.
Yes.
And you may have similar friends, so you see them at functions cordially, and that's it. To me is that's as close as it can get with an ex.
I think
otherwise, why did you break up?
I think the extent of friendship with an ex can be like catching up on a yearly basis.
That's too far for me.
That's too far?
I don't want to know about your life. If I wanted to know about your life, I'd be with you.
I mean, there are exes that I absolutely hate that I'm like, yo, I never want to hear from you again. But there are people that it just didn't work. But
it depends on the situation.
It depends on the situation. I personally maybe wouldn't have an issue with a significant other, like having contact with an ex. But if my significant other is best friends talking significantly with someone that they've been even intimate with,
immediate red flag.
No.
I think that is a huge red flag and to start out with. Also, side note to this, what I was saying earlier, if you're not best friends with the person that you're with, like I used to go to weddings and you know how people would be like, oh, this person is my best friend. And I'd be thinking, no, my best friend are my girlfriends. My best friend I would always be thinking of someone else, not the person I'm dating at the time, until I met my husband. And then I was like, oh, wait, you actually genuinely are my best friend. Like I could not say that about anyone of my previous exes. Yeah. And I didn't really understand. I was like, how is a guy going to be your best friend? Like, how are you going to want to chat with him? How are you going to want to hang out with him all the time? That truly really should have been a red flag for me at the time. True. Of that person probably isn't the one for you. And then I met my husband and I was like, wow, you genuinely are my best friend. I do want to hang out with you. So, side note to that, if the person that you're with is not your best friend, red flag, get rid of him or her. And if they're staying close with someone, no, red flag.
No.
Red flag.
Red flag for me.
Okay. This one is drives a very practical car or like an older car.
It's funny that you say that because I have a very similar one. I think that's a green flag. I think that's a huge green flag.
I think it's a huge green flag too.
I think that's the greenest of flags.
The greenest of flags you can give me is a Honda Civic. It's very practical. It's just an average car, not flashy.
I might one up ya. RAV4.
A RAV4. Hybrid. Very practical.
So practical. Great gas mileage.
A Tesla.
You know, I can't do that anymore.
They are very safe, but wildly impractical.
Also, Tesla trucks.
No, it looks like a dumpster.
Every time I see one, I'm just like...
That's a red flag for me, a Tesla truck.
I was dating someone one time, and it was before the Tesla truck came out, and he had gotten onto the list to get it. And I told him, I was like, I will not be seen near you if you have that car. I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to happen.
So you didn't want him to drive you guys from your wedding in the Tesla truck?
I would not have gotten in that car.
It looks like a dumpster to me. Yeah. To me, it's a massive red flag. I do like the safety features that Teslas have, but I think that they're impractical because of like the battery span. And for me, a practical car shows that, okay, you're not going to spend your money on like a bunch of random stuff. You're going to put your money like, I don't know, to things that like really matter. And you're not just about being like flashy and showy. And I like a practical car.
One of mine was actually nice cars. Is it a red flag or a green flag? And I don't necessarily mean that like people can be into fixing up cars and they care about their cars. The biggest red flag to me is they have that and they think that I should also care about that. So they're almost trying to impress you because of their car.
Personally, I think that any show of like flashy wealth is a red flag.
I think that's gross.
So do I. And to me, cars are kind of like maybe in our tax bracket, the number one thing that people can genuinely like have and spend money on. All that to say, I do think that cars and having a hobby car can be a fun hobby that is not a red flag.
Yeah.
It just depends on how you do it.
And
if you're having a car just for the sake of showing off, red flag, immediate red flag.
Immediate red flag. And that's not the stuff that impresses me anyway. Like I drove a Toyota Echo, a 2000 Toyota Echo.
Yeah, I used to drive a
for
2016 Chevy Trax.
And I loved that car.
I didn't love my Chevy Trax, but it was very practical. It was a good first car.
It needs to get me from point A to point B.
So, side story, do you remember the worst date I've ever been on?
Yes.
Worst date I've ever been on. A guy who mid-date asked me, do I ever shut up? When he picked me up in his car, it was like...
I saw him today.
Really? He's still around. And when this guy picked me up in his car, the first question that he asked me was, do you like my car? I don't know anything about cars. I drove with Chevy Trax at the time. I was like, yeah, it's nice. It's clean. I was like, oh, it is pretty clean in here. He's like, it's new. It was like some BMW model or something with like a big screen in it. And I was like, oh yeah, it has a big screen. Like, can you watch movies on this? He's like, no, it's a safety feature. And I was like, I don't know anything about cars. I should have got out of the car right then and there, because what did this man ask me on a date? Do you ever shut up?
That should have been the first sign.
Yes.
That it wasn't going to work out.
So that's why I bring up that red flag.
Okay. Red flag or green flag has a separate face wash
than their body wash?
Yes.
I think green flag.
You think green flag?
Green flag. Are these gender agnostic?
Yes.
Green flag. Absolutely green flag.
Yes.
Hygiene is always cool.
I think it is gender agnostic, but I do think about it more in terms of like guys who have like 3-in-1 body wash that also washes their dishes and cleans their car. But like, it's very rare that guys will have separate face washes.
If you're a guy who does the 3-in-1 body wash thing and doesn't have like a separate face wash or something, I feel like in other areas of your hygiene, you need to step up the game then. And then that balances us out and it's a green flag. If that's all that you do is the 3-in-1, that's a red flag for me. Putting in a little bit of effort matters.
It does. So I'm actually a little bit unsure. I don't know if it's a red flag or green flag.
I think it's a green flag, because if you're putting effort into being clean, putting effort into like your appearance, especially if you're dating, like a lot goes a long way. Pluck your unibrow, okay? Put on some chapstick. You don't want to have crusty lips and a unibrow.
Maybe some lotion.
Those are maybe some face lotion. Those are very basic things.
Face lotion? Green flag.
Those are very basic things. And so if you are using the 3-in-1, but you got good eyebrows, you brush your teeth. I mean, I shouldn't have to say you brush your teeth, but we work with a lot of men. And sometimes I am like, you guys are gross.
Because they don't brush their teeth?
Don't brush their teeth, or like have earwax coming out of their ears, or like...
Oh.
Yeah. I was also in the infantry, so I saw a lot of stuff. And so I always feel like putting effort in
is a huge green flag.
Yeah. Because you're trying. Mm-hmm. Can't hate on someone for trying.
Yeah. Especially first couple dates.
Yeah, absolutely.
When they put in like effort.
This one goes along the same lines as that. Red flag or green flag when someone says that they're low maintenance.
Oh, I need context, but right off the bat, gut reaction, probably red flag. And I feel like maybe I know where you're going with this. Kind of a pick-me girl.
I think it's a pick-me girl trait. I put this one in there because, first off, I feel like people think that they need to say that they're low maintenance, even if they're not, to seem like they're less.
Or cool.
And so I feel like it's one of two things. You're either trying to be cool because it's like not trying is cool. And it's like, no, trying is cool. Like saying that you put effort into your daily routine, saying that you're trying to take care of your skin, saying that all of that, that is cool. That should be cool. And saying like, oh, I only use a 3-in-1 body wash. Not cool. You don't put effort in.
You shouldn't be proud of that.
Exactly.
You don't need to be proud of that.
Exactly. Yeah. And I feel like the girl equivalent of that is saying I'm low maintenance when they're not really.
Yes.
I don't even truly know what that means. Saying you're low maintenance. I don't know what that means.
I think I probably used to think that I was low maintenance until I realized that I loved being high maintenance, but can be low maintenance when I need to be.
Yeah, I can be low maintenance. But when I'm low maintenance, it's like I'm doing it out of necessity.
Right.
And it's like, if I can dress up,
If
I can do self-care, if I can do all of those things, sure, why not? It's something that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And if you're someone who doesn't like those things, okay, but it's still nice to put effort in, like to special events and stuff, you know, your friends having a special party. It's fun to like dress up and look nice.
All right, next one. This person watches TV shows or movies with subtitles on.
Oh, green flag.
Thank you. Thank you.
Green flag, absolutely.
I don't want to be watching TV shows without the subtitles on.
I only watch them with subtitles too.
I only watch them. In fact, when I'm not, I'm asking for subtitles.
What reason would someone have for not using the subtitles? If you're a non-subtitler out there, please enlighten me.
What, do you just have better ears?
Maybe they want to see the bottom of the screen.
Maybe it's distracting.
It's distracting to me when I can't understand what they're saying.
That's why I like it.
Me too.
And so I don't know if this is necessarily like red flag or green flag, but it's like I want to always have subtitles. Therefore, if you don't use subtitles, to me, that is a red flag.
I also agree. Okay. Red flag or green flag? Someone who texts, "What are you doing?" but then never makes plans.
It has to be a red flag.
Why
are you talking to me? That's a breadcrumber. I feel like that's what we call a breadcrumber.
What's a breadcrumber?
A breadcrumber is a person that will not actually commit or settle down with you, but wants your attention. So they'll keep texting you or keep showing you attention, but just enough to pique your interest.
Whoa, I never heard that before.
Really?
No.
Okay, yeah, so I think what you're explaining is probably kind of a breadcrumber. Like, we'll text you, we'll like your Instagram stories, we'll show you just a little bit of attention, but not enough, or doesn't care enough to actually make plans.
Whoa, okay, yeah, definite red flag. I didn't know that it had a name, but yeah, 100%. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we don't want that. We want plans. So as a single lady on the dating apps, the only way it's going to work for me on the dating apps is if the person is immediately like, let's meet. Or like, let's make plans. Because you don't want to be just, sitting on the dating app.
Texting back and forth.
Because I don't have the attention span with something like that. You want someone that's putting effort in.
Again,
that is
effort is a green flag.
I think that's the number one green flag.
Effort, yeah.
Effort.
And I think that also, if someone is putting effort in, you should match or try to double effort.
At least match.
Yeah, I think it feels really good when someone's like matching your effort.
Yeah.
And it feels really bad when someone isn't. Red flag.
All right. Red flag or green flag? Yoga.
I think yoga as a whole is a green flag. I think that turning yoga into your hobby because it's something that you think will enable you to pick up women or be around women who are in yoga clothes is a red flag.
Okay, that went so much deeper than I was intending it to. And I love where you're going with that.
I have been around guys who have been like, oh yeah, I just moved to this new town. I want to like try to pick up girls. I'm going to join a yoga class.
But how is that any different than going to a gym for guys to try and meet girls or going to like a bar?
I guess I don't like the thought of it because I don't go to yoga class to get hit on. I go there to relax and chill out. And I don't want to have to be worried about...
the girl that literally planned her day.
Yeah, I do my intentions there. Don't go there to get hit on. Granted, I'm also married, so I do find it kind of annoying.
Meanwhile, I'm like, come talk to me.
Yeah, what's your opinion?
So
on someone hitting on you in a yoga class?
So I am taking this more from the standpoint of, I think in general, a hobby like yoga would be a green flag, and especially someone that may not be into yoga but would be willing to try it for their partner. would be a huge green flag.
Willing to try anything for a partner or for someone that you like.
Huge green flag.
Absolutely.
And so that's what I was getting at. To your question, if I was hit on at a yoga studio, I would be totally fine with it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, maybe it is a green flag. Something just seems a little skeezy to me about like a guy who knows there's going to be a lot of predominantly women in a yoga class. So they like go there to try to hit on women.
Yeah, the people...
It's not just happenstance.
The people that are saying stuff like that are probably sleazebags. Are probably
and so
pretty
to
gross.
Me, if you're going there to just do yoga and then it like perchance happens, that's totally different. Yes. That's to me the same as if you're in a grocery store and you see someone who's cute and you ask them out. But if you are like, I know that there's going to be like a lot of women there in yoga clothes, that's sleazy to me.
I agree. I do want to know your guys' opinions on if you get hit on at the yoga studio. Are you guys cool with that? Do you want that? I would be cool with that.
Honestly, better than like meeting someone at a club or something where you can't even talk to them. You don't know what their hobbies are.
I will say I did go on a date to yoga class and I'm unsure how I feel about it.
No, that'd be, I feel like not a good date. You can't talk or get to know them at all except for how flexible they are.
I think it would be a fun maybe second or third date.
Yeah.
Third or fourth date. Not a great first date.
No. What did you get out of that?
I mean, nothing. It was a little bit awkward. I wouldn't go on a first date to a yoga studio, but I would definitely do like maybe second, third, fourth dates.
Okay, red flag or green flag. You hand your phone to someone to ask them to take a photo of you or to take a group photo of you and your friends, and they take 2 pictures and hand the phone back.
Red flag.
Immediate red flag.
Again, it's funny you said that because I have a similar one. You take the red flag version of it and I take the green flag version of it. Huge green flag if they're like, all right, let me make sure I get the good angle. They're taking multiple photos, green flag. And it comes back to effort.
Yes.
If they're just like, one photo, no.
So this is a common thing that I have noticed in my husband, Maya's fiance, and Poppy's little sister's husband. Is all 3 of them, when we ask them to take photos of our girl gang, they go all out. They're like taking a ton of pictures. They are like having us check it. They never act annoyed when we are like, hey, can you take this picture? They never act like, oh my gosh, can you guys just hurry up? They are there to get the picture that we want.
Yep.
And make sure it's a good picture. And I feel like that just shows like they're willing to care about the things that like you care about. Mm-hmm. And if they only take 2 pictures and then they act annoyed, no, huge red flag.
Yeah. In general, when you're out and like someone offers to take your picture or they do a very good job of taking your picture when you ask them, I think that just shows that they're probably a better human.
Yeah.
I think that could be studied.
That should be a test.
Like an indicator.
Yes. If you're wondering, is this guy a red flag or a green flag guy?
Have him take a picture of you and your friends.
Have him take a picture of you and your friends. Yeah. I think it could be a test.
That's a great test.
I want to tease this theory out more. I want evidence of the contrary of a really good guy who hates taking pictures of other people and does it begrudgingly.
Yeah.
I don't know if it exists.
I would be hard pressed to find that, I think. Okay. Red flag or green flag? They take notes about you on their phone.
Ooh, this is a tough one. Can I ask what type of notes?
Yeah, well, I think in our friend group, depending on what story you're thinking of, could be a red flag or a green flag. But in general, have you ever been with a guy that just can't remember one thing about you, like one thing that you've told him?
So my husband keeps a notes app, and if I like mention anything that I need or I like or whatever, he will write it down immediately, and he uses that all the time.
That's why I think it's such a green flag, is because I've definitely been with people that just don't remember stuff about you. And like, I get, you've been blown up one too many times, and they use that as an excuse of like why they can't remember anything. And then I met someone that like literally took notes because he like struggled with that. And I'm like, don't have an excuse. You just take notes in your phone about the person to like remember things, so you're not like, hey, I can't remember any detail about you. So I think that's a huge green flag.
I think it's a green flag too. I think it's putting effort in.
Because I think remembering stuff about people makes them feel important. And there's nothing that makes you feel worse when a person just doesn't remember anything about you, especially if you're trying to date them.
When you're dating someone and they give you presents of things that you mentioned a long time ago, they're usually things that you really actually want and will use. And it makes you feel really, really special.
And listened to and understood. Yeah.
Plus at holiday seasons, birthdays, whatever, my husband knows exactly what to get me. Red flag or green flag? Ghosting someone, but calling it self-care.
I need more information.
So you're seeing someone, you realize they're not it, and so you ghost them. I would say it's early on in the relationship. This is not like you've been dating for a year and you ghost them.
I will say I have ghosted people before. I don't think it's right. I think ghosting is a red flag. I'm not saying I'm above it because I have done it. I think there are situations that are more acceptable than others, but ultimately that is a red flag.
I think if you're ghosting someone who's just been breadcrumbing you, never actually makes plans.
Yes.
Never actually puts effort in, and then it just kind of fades off and it turns into like a ghosting situation. Okay. But I think when someone's putting a lot of effort in, they deserve at least like a text that says, hey, I'm not interested anymore.
Unless they won't take no for an answer. Because I've definitely had people not take no for an answer and continue to text me. And the only option there is
ghosting.
To ghost them.
Okay, well, that's a red flag. Them not taking no as an answer, that's a red flag. So I don't feel like...
Yes.
So in that case, 2 red flags do make a green flag.
Yes. It is necessary.
That is a good example of 2 red flags equaling a green flag.
Yes.
However, I just think that they should...
leave you alone.
In the first place and be respectful of your boundaries.
Yes. So yeah, I think ghosting is a red flag. That's a red flag.
Okay. Red flag or green flag? Says that they like strong, independent women.
I have so much to say about this. I'm going to go ahead and say red flag because no one that actually wants a strong, independent woman needs to say that they want a strong, independent woman. The people that are saying that don't actually want a strong, independent woman.
Interesting. Okay, tell me your reasoning.
I just feel like a lot of people that I've like been out with or dated that have said, or I get the feeling that, yeah, like I want to date someone who's independent and who has like their own ambitions and like all of this stuff. Like those values don't actually align with the life that they want to live with their partner. And so it's like, yeah, you might be attracted to me because I'm ambitious and because of all this stuff. But like, if I tell you in a couple years that I don't want to have a family or if I don't want this, are you okay with that? And the answer would probably be no.
I think that they like the idea of it.
They like the idea of it.
And I think that often they like the idea of it because it's either something that they're not. So they're kind of like insecure about it. And so they have to point it out. Or they like the idea of it, but doesn't actually know what that entails.
No.
Like that entails being supportive of someone who is chasing their dreams, or that is being supportive of someone who is in a male-dominated job or without you being freaking out and being jealous all the time.
Or you might not be able to be their like number one priority at all times.
Yeah.
Or the time that it takes to follow their dreams or like be doing the stuff that they're doing. So no, I don't think people that say that they want strong, independent women think that.
Have you heard of the trend of women meeting men who then they say, oh, I started liking the color pink again and I started liking feminine things again. Have you heard of that?
No.
Okay, so it's basically this trend where on social media people post this, but you find a guy who lets you be the full extent of who you actually are. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to put on that kind of tough face anymore. And you can start doing lots of girly things again, more like feminine things again, even if you are in like a more masculine role at work. And I really resonate with that because I feel like at work, I put on like a really tough face and I show up to work in the ways that I need to. But then when I come home, I can be as girly and feminine as I want to. And I can chase my dreams at the same time as being as much of a woman as I want to, because I have a partner who's genuinely supportive of that versus someone who says that they want a strong, independent woman. And then as soon as you start being a strong, independent woman, they're like, whoa, wait a second. Yeah. That's not on my terms.
They don't know what that actually means. Yeah. And they don't, in my experience, don't want that.
I agree that if they say it, they probably don't know what it means and they probably don't want it.
No.
My only real dad is my husband here. I don't think he would ever say, I want a strong, independent woman, because the reality is that like, he doesn't want me to have to be independent or have to be strong.
No.
I think he knows that I am, but he regularly does things for me because he doesn't want me to have to do them. Like he wants to treat me really, really well. He doesn't ever want me to like go through anything hard or whatever, but he fully supports me when I am doing things hard. And he goes out of his way to make my life easier because he wants me to be
successful.
Yes. And he wants me to not have to be independent. He wants me to be able to like count on him when I need support. So he doesn't want a strong, independent woman.
Yeah.
He wants the best version of me that I can be. So yeah, I guess it is a red flag.
I think that's a red flag. Oh, I have one kind of along that line.
Okay.
When a guy, or maybe really anyone, tells you that you're not like other girls.
I like being told that I'm not like other girls, but I do have a lot of bizarre hobbies and it kind of makes me feel special, but I don't fully know what it means. I never really truly thought about it.
I think I have seen stuff online that guys will say that to kind of almost alienate or use it as like maybe like a manipulation tactic of like, oh, you're not like other girls, like you're so special. Or it's like, no, there are a lot of other like really cool girls like me.
It depends on how they're saying it. Yes. Honestly, if it's a red flag or a green flag. If it's like a manipulation tactic to be a little bit controlling, I could see how they could say that like, oh, you're not like other girls, you blah, blah, blah. And it's something that like benefits them. I could see that as a manipulation tactic. But if they're saying like, oh, you're not like other girls because you guys are clicking more or you guys have hobbies in common, and they hadn't dated another girl who had hobbies in common with them, I could see that. Or I could also see like my husband had never dated anyone else who is in the military. Yeah. And he loves having that in common. I love having that in common with him because we can talk about a lot of things that I feel like other couples might not be able to relate to as much. So I could see both sides of it. I think it's just how they're putting it forward.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. This is kind of a goofy one.
Okay.
But I think it could be a serious indicator.
Okay.
Red flag or green flag if they own a sword. And I'm not talking about like a ceremonial saber that like they were given through their military career or something like that. I'm talking about they took their own hard-earned cash, at some point went to a store and purchased a sword. Potentially they may hang it over their couch in their living room as decor.
This is weirdly specific, so I'm very nervous to answer this. But here's my thought. I'm in no place to judge someone for their hobbies and what they buy. For me, red flag. What are you doing with that sword?
That's for me also a red flag. Okay. What are you doing with it?
What are you doing with that sword? If it was a machete, cool. Maybe you're going to go hiking. Maybe you're going to like chop down some trees, some trails or whatever. What are you doing with that sword is my number one question. And I don't think he's probably going to have a very good answer to it.
I feel like a lot of guys out there have swords randomly. What are you doing with them? Totally different if you're using it for something.
Like, what would you be like LARPing?
That's the only thing I can think of.
Is LARPing a red flag for you?
I think guys think swords can be decor.
There's no way.
I've seen it in living room decor, like behind their couch. like where you'd put a painting or something.
I'm so mad right now.
I was really worried that you were going to say green flag for swords. And I was going to be like, Kathleen, you are a red flag.
Well,
then.
I'm a walking red flag, but that's not why.
If you own a sword out there,
why?
Please respond. I want to know why. If you have a good, valid reason, I'm willing to concede a green flag, but only if you're using it for something. Just having a sword, it's a red flag.
Here's one. Red flag or green flag uses turn signals.
I'm going to say it's a green flag that they use turn signals, but I'm not going to lie. I often don't use them, especially when actually, I don't want to incriminate myself on film. Green flag. Follow the law.
I think that's a green flag.
Yeah.
But like, you're allowed to have red flags. All right, that's actually a good segue. Tell me about your red flags.
Okay. My red flags, for starters, I have about 19 trillion hobbies.
That's not a red flag.
Yeah, but sometimes I'll do them at like 3 a.m.
That might be a red flag.
Like if I'm building a project and I don't want to stop, I'll literally die before my project's over. I don't have an off switch for the project. I'll just keep
doing it.
Keep doing it. Yeah, that's a red flag. Another red flag, terrible driver. I hate driving. I avoid it at all costs. In fact, sometimes I act like worse of a driver, so then people don't want to let me drive. What about you? Any other red flags you want to share?
I prefer hot dogs to hamburgers, and I think that's a red flag.
I would argue it's not a red flag because this is why a lot of people at barbecues overcook the hamburgers or undercook the hamburgers, and you are basically guaranteed to get a good hot dog.
I just love hot dogs. I wear socks to bed.
So do I. My feet get chilly.
Yeah.
One red flag of mine, my therapists keep quitting.
Oh.
Is that a red flag on me?
I don't think that's a red flag on you, but I do think we should do a episode about our bad therapist stories.
Yeah, I have a lot of them because they keep quitting.
Yeah.
PSA to MWR. Actually, I promised myself I wasn't going to do a PSA.
No, we love your PSAs. More PSAs. That's a green flag.
My PSAs are a green flag.
I'm a big napper. I take so many naps.
You think that's a red flag?
I don't think it's a green flag.
Maybe you're tired.
I am tired. Red flag. Red flag or green flag? Golf.
I think golf is a red flag.
I think golf is a red flag.
So
we did find a hobby that's a red flag.
Oh, I think that there's a lot of hobbies that could be red flags.
Okay.
Golf is really expensive. I can't explain why it's a red flag to me, but it is.
I just personally don't like it.
I kind of think that golf is something that guys use to get away from women. And anything with that concept, I don't like.
Yeah, that's fair.
I do have some other red flag, green flags. Okay. Well, no hobbies. Having no hobbies. Or like when someone says sleeping is my hobby, red flag.
I just think, they're boring.
Yeah, you're boring. Get hobbies. Red flag. Okay, this is a serious one that I don't know if this is a red flag or a green flag. And I do kind of have a strong opinion on this. And I want to know what you think. Okay, is this a red flag or a green flag? Knowing your love language and sharing it early on in a relationship.
Green flag.
Okay, I think green flag too.
I don't even have to think that long about that one.
I think it's a green flag of knowing how you want to be loved and knowing how you best share love with people.
I think that there are instances where the person might not be able to show your love language or be able to love you in the way that your love language requires. And you need to kind of meet them halfway in that instance. Or both of you just need to work harder or work hard to be able to figure something out.
Yeah, and kind of learn what the other person needs or wants.
And that's why I think it's a green flag. If you are self-aware enough and your communication is good, that's such a green flag.
I think it's a green flag too. I think it's like a great thing to share early on because then you're like putting effort in. Again, effort, green flag.
Communication, green flag.
Green flag. I didn't know that there was going to be a theme to all of these, but I feel like doing them all back to back kind of showed this theme of like when someone's putting effort in and trying really hard, it almost always results in a green flag. And when someone is like too cool or doesn't want to put effort in, it's like basically always a red flag. Yeah, that wraps up my list of Red flag, green flag.
Yeah, I think we kind of hit all of the ones that I wanted to hit. Let us know if you have any more red flags or green flags that we didn't hit, or if you think we're totally off base with some of these.
Tune in next week for our next episode of Shelaborate.
See you next time.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Shelaborate. We can't wait to bring you more episodes.
Don't forget to follow, like, and drop us a review. Our episodes are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Patreon.
If you liked the show, post it on your social media and pass it along. Women supporting women is the whole point.
We'll be back next week with more opinions, more stories, and more Shelaboration.
Until then, I'm Kat.
And I'm Tyra. This podcast is for the girls.